Imagine getting old, and instead of dying, your body just rewinds. You shrink back into a baby and start your entire life over. Forever. One animal on Earth actually does this. Meet Turritopsis dohrnii. It's about 4 millimeters across, smaller than your pinky nail, basically a clear little blob. And scientists call it the immortal jellyfish. That's not a nickname for being tough. This thing can literally reverse its own aging. It cheats death. To get why that's insane, look at every other living thing. You're born, you grow, you get old, you die. One direction. It's a one-way street. You can't unbake a cake. Cells wear out and break down, and that's what aging is. This jellyfish drives the wrong way down that street, and nobody pulls it over. Our story starts back in 1988 in the warm water off Rapallo on the coast of Italy. A young German biology student named Christian Sommer was scooping up these little jellyfish and keeping them in dishes to study them. He expected them to do what everything in his samples did, grow old and die, but they refused. Instead of dying, the adults sank to the bottom of the dish and turned back into polyps, their baby stage. He had stumbled onto an animal that could age backwards, and at first, almost nobody believed him. To see why it's so shocking, here's the normal jellyfish life. It starts as a tiny larva drifting in the sea, then settles down and becomes a polyp, a little tube stuck to the floor. The polyp buds off into the swimming bell, the classic jellyfish shape we all picture. It grows up, reproduces, and dies. That's the script every jellyfish follows, beginning to end, until this one tears the script in half. When Turritopsis gets injured or starved or just plain old, it does not die. Its bell flips inside out, shrinks down, sinks to the seafloor, and turns back into a polyp. An adult animal, turning back into its own baby stage. It's like a butterfly crawling back into a caterpillar. And this isn't some metaphor. It physically rewinds its body. The grown-up becomes the infant again. The trick even has a name: transdifferentiation. And to understand it, you need one simple rule about cells. Normally, a cell picks one job for life. A muscle cell stays a muscle cell. A nerve cell stays a nerve cell. No switching. Turritopsis cells just quit. A muscle cell can become a nerve cell. A nerve cell can become something else entirely. Imagine your skin cells deciding to become brain cells overnight. For almost every animal, that's impossible. For this one, it's a Tuesday. And it can pull this off again and again in an endless loop of restarts. One man has spent his whole life proving it's real. His name is Shin Kubota, a scientist in Kyoto, Japan. He keeps colonies of them alive in tiny jars, feeding them by hand, day after day, year after year. Over 2 years, he watched a single group rejuvenate up to 10 times, sometimes resetting once a month. He's so devoted that he even writes and sings karaoke songs about his beloved jellyfish. To him, this little blob holds the key to one of biology's biggest questions. Can aging be undone? So, is it actually immortal? Well, sort of. Hold on, because there's a catch. It can still be eaten. It can still get sick. In the wild, almost all of them die in the jaws of something bigger. Immortal doesn't mean invincible. But here's the kicker. Left alone, it has no expiration date. No old age. None. Now think about what that means. A tiny animal that can't die of old age has been quietly taking over. It started in the Mediterranean, but today it's found in oceans all around the world. Scientists think it hitchhikes inside the ballast water of cargo ships, riding from port to port across the planet. A silent, global invasion by an animal that refuses to die, and almost nobody noticed it happening. Which leads to the question you're already thinking. Can humans steal this trick? In 2022, a team of scientists sequenced its entire genome, hunting for the secret of its immortality. They compared it to a cousin jellyfish, one that ages and dies the normal way. And the differences were striking. The immortal one had extra copies of genes for repairing DNA. Its cellular repair crew was working overtime. It also had better defenses against oxidative damage, the slow cellular rust that wears the rest of us down. And it could switch on pluripotent C genes, the same master switches that let an embryo grow into anything at all. Basically, it keeps a backup copy of its factory settings, and it can hit reset whenever it needs to. Now don't get too excited. We are not getting jellyfish immortality anytime soon. We're far more complex creatures. And in us, cells that reset and multiply out of control already have a name. We call it cancer. But this little creature dodges aging cleanly without ever becoming a tumor. Somehow it knows where the brakes are. Crack how it does that, and we might learn something huge about repairing our own bodies. So next time you feel old, remember this. Somewhere out in the ocean, a jellyfish the size of a speck just looked death in the eye, shrugged, and started its entire life over. Again.